Day 9. So yesterday I tried to read the spec of PCIe version 5, and I set a challenge for myself that I need to understand it in 2 hours, and that is impossible. Even for an overview, I barely understand the concept. So I decided to spend more hours today, 3 hours, to see if I can understand just a bit of it. As you may know, this standard is created in 2003, so it has been in the market for 22 years. So now we reread the introduction again to have a clear understanding of what is signal, what is LAN and link. So this diagram, a LAN has 2 wire or 2 signal, and it has only one direction. So the signal is a differential signal. For example, if you want to send 5 volt, then one line you're gonna send 2.5 and the other gonna be minus 2.5, and then it will combine to 5 volt. So if we have multiple LAN here, it will form a link, and a link connect two devices together. And we have x1, x2, so on and so forth until x16. So these are the number of the LAN. All right. So yesterday we also talked about the switch, because PCIe is parallel to 0, and the root complex is the CPU. So if you want to communicate with other end device, so the CPU here, the SSD here, and for example this clock is GPU, and if you want to communicate with one of them, you have to perform switching. If, for example, if you just send off the signal into one light here, then it will be collapsed. So there are many generation. So far we also have Gen 6, and this is the speed of these PCIe generation. So now look at the transaction layer. I think we have covered before. So this will create a package to send out to physical layer and the next transaction layer. So this is what I try to understand today. When a CPU wants to communicate with a SSD, it first will perform enumeration, and enumeration will show what device connect to the bus, and it will also show the base address register of the device. So if I want to send something to the SSD, I will find the bar or the base address register, set the offset, because on the SSD there are a certain command. For example, the first one gonna be read write or read write, because the SSD may have many commands, so it's just based on the command that we want to use and the address that we want to send. Okay, so now it will go down to transaction layer. Transaction layer will repair this command into TLP, transaction layer package, and the TLP will have header and ECRC, and then it will move to data link. Data link will add sequence number and else RCRC to the payload, and the data link also have thermal management, and it will also add into this package. So the next layer is physical layer. It will pack into, it will encode using AB10B as we mentioned yesterday, and send out to the other end, and from the other end it will go to data link and transaction layer, and finally to the SSD.